there, Mark Stevens with the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife in a different location today. I'm not in my office, but we're at the bank of a stream and we're going to show you how to do a little bit of macroinvertebrate collection in this little stream that we have here. Now, macroinvertebrates are animals without a backbone that you can't actually see. They're large enough to see. And let me show you a couple of things first. I'm wearing waders, which a lot of kids say are big boots, and that's what they are, so they're keeping me nice and dry. I'm wearing, since I'm out here by myself, I've got a life jacket on, you know, so that I'm safe. Even though the water is very shallow, I'm out here by myself, so there's nobody to run to if something happens, pass out or whatever. And I'll show you a couple of other tools that we have. What we're going to be using is a little bit of a net that we made. These are things that you can make at home, or things that you see that you could kind of copy at home or mimic. So this is basically just a strainer with a mop handle, and we've drilled a hole in the mop handle and we've zip tied it together. So so what I'm going to do is just show you a couple of different things, see what kind of creatures we can find, these macroinvertebrates. We're going to be going along the edges of this bank. Now, you could do it without getting in the water too. You don't have to get in the water. It's just fun to get in the water. And before I did get in, I know this spot very well, but you always check the bottom to see how solid that is. Always check the bottom. And if you can see bottom, that's great. If you can't see bottom, you got to check to see, because you never know. It might be really, really deep and you go in over your head or something, and that's not a good thing. Or it gets really mucky. And if you get in and your pole goes way into the muck, that's probably not a good spot to go in. So make sure that it's safe, especially if you're going to take kids there, or if you're a kid that's going to the location. So that's one thing. The other thing that I have is a collection bucket. I filled it with a little bit of water, and I put this pool tube around it. I just created a little pool tube that will float, because if you just have the bucket try to float, it will tip sideways and dump out, and then anything you might have caught may go away. So let me just do something real quick. Take a look at this, and what I'm going to do is just go along. I'm not going to dig into the mud because these are just, they're fairly flimsy. So I'm just going to go along the edge. Just kind of tap around, see if there's anything in there. There are a couple of creatures. There's one here, it's a little snail. I'm going to put that in there, and we're going to take them back to the office and show you some things later on. I'm going to put those right in there. Again, I'll do the same thing, just go in the same kind of location, see if there's anything along. Yep, check this guy out. I'll let you see him. Look at that. That is a cool creature. We'll talk about him later on. Here's another one of those. Check that out. See that? I love doing this stuff. I love catching these creatures. Another little snail. Now, I'm not going to take all the things that I'm seeing in my net. That wouldn't be a good thing, but I will bring these back to this location again after we check them out, see what they are, and identify them. And we're going to show you a couple of little sheets. There's another one of those that I'll put it back in the water. I'm just kind of dipping around to see if there's anything around for the size of this snail here. And we're going to talk about snails a little bit too. So, but anyway, that's kind of what we're doing. It's just a macroinvertebrate sampling. This is called sampling, and this is really fast food for fish. A lot of the fish look for these things to eat, and so going along with fish and fishing, this has nothing to do with fishing other than learning about the aquatic ecosystem that we're living in. So have fun, and we'll show you how to make these in another video. Take care.